I hate this. Nigga, I hate this. I hate to come to black people. I don't want to get paid, man.
No, let's not do that, Charles. You done came way down here. Why we doing that? Hey, Charles, hold on. Whoa. Listen, Charleston.
Charleston White has walked off yet another podcast, his second one in just a week. This time, though, many viewers feel he actually had a valid reason. From the moment the interview began, the hosts came at him with a hostile tone, setting the stage for tension long before things truly escalated.
Not necessarily need people.
I come amongst y'all, homie, to play on y'all.
You can't play on me because I'm elite.
If you interviewing me, I done played on the elite. Why you think you done paid me to get here?
You ain't played on me. You think they're playing on me?
I done played.
You think they're playing on me?
Listen, this is how I played on you. I got your attention to make you watch me. Reach out to me and say, hey man, let me talk to you.
We been f***ing around, so this is the thing.
So that's what I'm saying. I played on you years ago to get you here.
Nah, that ain't playing on me. Hey, listen, this is business.
If you
ain't played on me, I'm elite.
How did you know me then?
Because I'm what? Hey, listen, this is. Hold on, let me explain.
How you meet me?
I met you. Let me explain.
Did you meet me on the internet?
Let me explain.
Did you meet me through the internet?
Of course.
You've been played on then. I come playing on the internet.
You ain't playing on me. I got my fortune from the internet. You ain't talking to one of them.
No.
See, that's the thing. We both playing in the same box.
We ain't talking about money.
No, we playing in the same box.
You ain't doing the numbers I'm doing.
The entire interview quickly turned into a competition of egos, a full-blown power struggle. It felt like both sides were trying to prove who had the bigger presence, who could dominate the conversation, and who could walk away looking like the smarter man. Even when Charleston White told the hosts, "I'm playing y'all dumb, I outsmarted you," the back and forth didn't slow down. One of the hosts tried to deny it, but the truth was hard to ignore. Charleston made it clear, the persona people see online is a character, and anyone paying tens of thousands of dollars to bring him on just to hear him say things he doesn't even believe is, frankly, being played. And whether people liked him or not, he wasn't lying. From the start, this interview was doomed. Anyone who has watched Charleston White before knows the rules. First, you don't interrupt him ever. He hates it. He likes to express his full thoughts without being cut off, yet the host kept interrupting him non-stop. Second, you never tell Charleston White what he can't talk about. That's the fastest way to make sure he talks about exactly that. The host, who has deep ties in the Atlanta music scene, tried to protect his relationships with figures like Young Thug, Lucci, Woody, and others. So he told Charleston there were certain topics that were off limits. But the moment Charleston heard that, he went straight at those topics and instantly viewed the host as the opposition. The host said he wanted the real Charleston, not the character. So Charleston tried to give him exactly that. But once he started calling out rappers by name, the host backpedaled, suddenly insisting, no, not that, talk about something else. And from there, the tension only got worse.
A 2-day time span this week. So now, homie, the real me, homie, I can't bring to the world because they don't know the pain of our children. If I brought the real me, there's no way I could sit on these podcasts and have dialogue, because I'm gonna take everything back to the lyrical content of hip hop. I'm gonna take everything back to how's Young Thug and all these people still getting highlighted, but y'all have never highlighted no victim of their crimes.
I don't want to talk about Thug.
All I'm saying,
I know you doing your, but you know that's my little. So
I'm saying, let's not talk about this. Let's talk about the victims of crime.
Let's talk about crimes that have victims.
Let's talk about victims of crime.
When the conversation shifted toward victims of crime, the problem with the entire setup became clear. Inviting Charleston White onto a podcast because of his viral reputation for calling out industry figures, only to tell him not to talk about those same trending names, made absolutely no sense. It was a contradiction from the start, and anyone could see it. Charleston wasn't the only one who felt it. The narrator pointed out exactly why he avoids the industry. He stays isolated, works alone, and doesn't build relationships with rappers because those relationships are never genuine. According to him, rappers don't actually like bloggers or commentators. They only get close when they want someone to push their narrative or protect their image. It's transactional, nothing more. Lon, however, seemed to believe he truly had friendships with artists like Young Thug and Lucci. He treated them as his guys. But the narrator emphasized that this was an illusion. In his eyes, rappers are some of the most self-centered, narcissistic people in entertainment, and they don't form bonds out of real loyalty. They form them to gain leverage. So when Lon brought Charleston White on the show and said, "Give us the real you," he didn't expect Charleston to actually do that. But Charleston did exactly that, and immediately began calling out rappers by name. The moment Charleston pulled out his phone and said he could call a detective to confirm how many victims Young Thug allegedly had, Lon started panicking. He was sweating, breathing hard, and scrambling to shut down the conversation because the real Charleston White was exactly what he wasn't prepared for.
Yeah, so if you want the real me, let's have that discussion. Other than that, I gotta play.
Let's go. Let's talk about it.
So let's name
you want to talk about some victims?
So let's name some of Thug victims.
Nah, we don't talk about Thug. We're not talking about Thug. We're not talking about Thug.
Let me call Atlanta Police Department and get some names of Thug victims then, some people who done died.
We're not talking about Thug.
About the victims then.
Now let's talk about victims, period.
But we finna talk
we ain't talking about Thug.
You can't now, we gonna talk about Thug.
We not talking about Thug.
Let me get some of Thug.
Man, we not talking about Thug, man. We leaving Thug out of this.
No, we ain't.
We moving forward. We moving forward.
Nah,
we ain't got to end the interview. We moving forward.
We can end the interview.
Man, we moving forward,
we can't talk
Charleston.
about Thug and them victims.
We not talking about Thug, man. What kind of would I be to let you talk about Thug in front of me like that?
Lon's behavior during the interview exposed a much bigger issue. If he truly wanted to be the journalist and media personality he claimed to be, he wouldn't put Young Thug's agenda above the people watching. Viewers came to that interview expecting Charleston White to speak freely, especially about the topics he's known for. But instead of letting the conversation flow, Lon kept trying to protect his industry connections. And the truth is simple. Young Thug isn't thinking about Lon when he records music or chooses what to talk about publicly. He's not sitting in a studio wondering which topics might upset Lon's relationships. Artists like him care about themselves first. Expecting loyalty from them is unrealistic. That's why the whole situation felt disappointing. Up until now, Lon never seemed like someone who catered to industry politics. Even though he's signed to the Black Effect Network under iHeart, he always presented himself as independent and unbiased. But in this interview, it became obvious that he was guarding certain names and trying to control the direction of the conversation. Charleston White picked up on it immediately. Since Lon warned him not to speak on Young Thug, Charleston switched directions and made Lon the topic instead. He started questioning Lon's leadership, his loyalty, and how he treats the people around him. That shift irritated Lon instantly. What should have been a smooth interview turned into a tense standoff, with Charleston exposing weak points in Lon's professionalism, and Lon visibly losing his cool.
Let's talk about the destruction that these causing. Still to this day.
Ain't nobody causing destruction, you just talking.
Thug. Let Gunna be free.
Hey, why we talking about Thug?
Hold it accountable like you trying to do everybody else.
Then what I don't understand.
Heard that shit, my
Then what I don't understand.
Hold them niggas accountable.
You ain't even having no conversation.
I don't want to have no conversation because you done lost the intelligence, Charles.
How I defend him? I said we don't want to talk about it. I'm a big homie. We ain't talking about Charleston.
Eat your family.
You done led my village.
You done misled, nigga.
You got life up.
Fuck. I ain't listening to you.
Life up. What?
Then make him apologize.
What?
You say you're a big homie.
Of course.
Yo.
You crazy.
Stop hollering big homie. Talk to name. I ain't no big homie. I'm a daddy.
I'm a daddy too. I'm multiple things.
I don't lead no.
I'm multiple things. I lead the village.
What village?
This one.
What village?
This one.
Name something you do out here.
I just fed 52 families last week. And I'm feeding 500 families things for the family.
I did that shit by myself for 10 years.
I'm doing it out my pocket, though.
I did it out my pocket for 10 years. Never took $1 from nobody.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's why I'm so goddamn bold in what I say.
The moment the conversation shifted into a debate about who spends more money feeding the homeless, it became clear the interview had gone completely off the rails. At that point, there was no middle ground left. Both sides were too deep into proving who was better. Throughout the discussion, Charleston White would speak broadly, making general statements. But Lon kept taking everything personally, reacting as if each comment was directed at him. That constant misinterpretation created tension from start to finish. Charleston eventually grew frustrated because Lon wouldn't stop interrupting. Instead of letting the conversation breathe, Lon kept trying to challenge him, going back and forth, as if he needed to match Charleston's energy or outthink him on the spot. What made it even more noticeable was how different Lon behaved compared to his usual style. In his other interviews, he's calm, patient, and focused. He listens, he asks questions, and he lets the guest talk. But this time, it felt like he walked in with something to prove, as if he needed to show he could stand toe-to-toe with Charleston White intellectually. Because of all that, the entire interview felt like a complete waste of time. Instead of a meaningful conversation, it turned into an ego battle that never had a chance of going anywhere productive.
Black people never took their kids to psychologists to be classified as mentally.
No, we ain't talking about classified.
Homie, listen,
we talking about weaponized.
I don't know what I ain't never heard white people use words.
That's right, you didn't go to school.
That's what I'm talking about.
So sometimes you need the student learn with his mouth closed. The student learn with his mouth closed.
What's your highest education?
Don't worry about it.
Pre-law.
This is what you wrong.
I had a private one-on-one tutor.
Brother,
I just recently left college.
Brother.
I teach at college.
Let me say something.
I teach
you
at
being
college.
ignorant, Charles.
Now you being ignorant. Every time I listen to
I'm not a convict.
Man, that nigga telling you ain't got no education for me to even listen to.
I'm not a convict.
You ain't
and
got
I have
You ain't got no education for me to listen
Charleston.
to. I teach at college.
That's what I'm saying.
Lon broke nearly every cardinal rule when it came to interviewing Charleston White. While there were moments where Lon's points resonated, such as his stance on advocating for black children, he consistently misstepped throughout the conversation. Interviewing someone like Charleston White requires a careful approach. Never go tit for tat, never ban topics from discussion, and never interrupt. Unfortunately, Lon violated all three. By the end of the session, Charleston White's frustration had reached a boiling point. Lon repeatedly prevented him from finishing sentences, shifting from interviewer to debater, and treating the discussion like a personal challenge rather than a platform for honest dialogue. The result was predictable. Charleston White walked out, refusing to continue engaging with the escalating tension. This episode highlighted how even a seasoned interviewer can falter when trying to navigate the unique persona and approach of Charleston White. The combination of Lon's interruptions, topic restrictions, and combative demeanor turned the podcast into a standoff rather than an insightful discussion. For viewers, it was a stark reminder that some interviews can unravel when the dynamics between host and guest aren't carefully managed.
It calls street life cycle. You go listen to this kid's rapper and listen to the lyrics. Children have a young, impressionable mind. This kid don't know this is just a form of rap. He think this is a way for him to express his
way of
feeling,
life.
and he done found the words to express how he feeling. Those same words that he's expressed, they show in their actions. If you study each one of them. If you study the actions of NBA YoungBoy, he got a mama problem, to disrespect his mama in front of the camera, then beat his baby mama, drag her down the hallway, in and out of jail, medication, mental health medication. He just got off mental health medication. If you've been studying.
Yeah, I got
So it was court ordered for him to do it. So I'm thinking a little higher than everybody else.
Why you think that? Tell me why you think that.
Think what?
That you think it higher than everybody else. I share some of those opinions. Not us. I'm saying some people share the opinion that he just left, and when you say that it makes sense. Let me not personalize it. If I personalize it, I apologize. If I personalize it, I apologize as a man.
So this is what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
Most people just seeing the artist, and this is a big tool.
Right.
Every rapper is no longer a studio gangster. Their lyrics are real, and they live out their real lyrics. That's why they keep getting in trouble by the lyrics.
I argue that they're mascots.
If they're mascots, then how we know the crime they commit? How we know
they don't commit the crime? Like the mascot don't play for the team. He's on the team, but he don't get on the court. I believe that rappers are more so mascots than they are actual players these days.
YFN Lucci shot at Woody at a park with Woody Baby in his hand. YFN Lucci was a shooter. So I hear what you're saying, but I can call those detectives right now with those same.
I can't go against that.
So I heard you're a mascot, but you got some players. King Von was a player.
Some of them are players. Like I won't dispute that. You're right.
It's hard for me to communicate with
my bad, brother. Let's have a conversation, brother. I don't want that energy. I want us to intellectually have a conversation like me and Umar do. I don't want us to get to this place.
You done tit for tat me, fam. It's something in this brain. It's a message that I gotta say, but I gotta start here and go through and take you where you can understand.
Okay, go ahead.
Stop me here. Stop. I lost it. So it's hard to connect with the spirit of intelligence or whatever it is. When tit for tat, I lose it, homie. I lose it. And it's exhausting with my people, homie, man. But because you for whatever reason you've taken a defensive side.
I'm not defensive. You just listen, brother. I say out of respect for me. You know where it went wrong.
Go back and watch it. Every time
you know where it went wrong.
You won't let me just fully explain. Nobody black does it except Anton Daniel. Say TV do it, and it hurts our interviews because we can't flow. You booked me not to out-talk me.
No.
But I'm saying it seems like once you took the defensive third, I say something, you block me. Homie, let me flow.
I don't know how I done that because I'm just having a conversation. And then I'm a man, so when you say certain things to me, you got expect for it. Some kind of result from it.
No. Don't be a man, homie. Be a journalist.
I am a journalist.
But don't be a man, so a journalist have to put his
You just said I was a journalist.
But hear me out. You ain't let me talk, homie. Damn. I'm done. I hate this. Nigga, I hate this. I hate to come to black people and be like, I don't want to get paid, man.
No, let's not do that, Charles. You done came way down here. Why we doing that? Hey, Charles, hold on. Whoa. Listen, Charleston.
Ain't got nothing to do with no man shit. I just had a homie. I done made it up here with white people. I'm with Steve, we'll do it. I ain't gotta keep tit for tat with my people when the game will let me flow.
Charleston White appeared to have full confidence in his stance, seemingly unconvinced by Lon's approach. From the beginning, Lon set restrictions, telling Charleston White he couldn't discuss Young Thug, an early misstep that immediately disrupted the flow of the conversation. Observers noted that if Lon had allowed the discussion to remain open and genuine, the dynamic might have swayed more favorably toward him. The situation highlighted a crucial point for journalists and podcasters. Maintaining distance from the industry is key. Once a host begins acting like an insider or prioritizing relationships with industry figures, authenticity is compromised. In this case, Lon's behavior mirrored that of an industry participant rather than a neutral interviewer, which quickly tested Charleston White's patience. He grew frustrated with the lack of genuine engagement and eventually walked out. Viewers were left to weigh in on the situation, debating who bore the responsibility for the breakdown. The episode also served as a cautionary tale for anyone attempting high-profile interviews. Respect the guest, avoid overstepping boundaries, and never let external relationships dictate the conversation. If you want to stay updated on the latest industry drama, viral interviews, and behind-the-scenes insights, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. Charleston White's exit remains a clear example of how mismanaged interviews can derail even the most anticipated discussions.